NASCAR, man.
All right, here we are on Newtown TV, our one of our final shows before the election. So today our special guest is Jimmy Minardi. Hey Jimmy, how you doing?
Doing awesome, Jerry. Got Chris and Marcos, of course.
Yep, we got Chris, and obviously I'm a candidate for mayor for the Village of East Hampton, and Chris is a candidate for trustee. And in case you don't know it, Chris and Jimmy are brothers. So
Oh,
Right.
Jimmy, why don't you tell us, Jimmy, about your business and your life here in East Hampton and how you got into everything you're doing?
well, boy, isn't that like the wide open question? But I'll start with, just growing up here and surfing the jetty and working out on the beach and going to East Hampton High School and started lifeguarding back in 1976 as a pool guard at Treescape, and I was at the East Hampton condos for a while. Then I was a bay guard for a couple of years, and then 1979 or 80, I'm losing track of time. I was an ocean guard. Every
Yeah.
from Hampton all the way to Montauk or Ditch Plains. And I ended up in the last 20 years or so at, well, debatable on 20 years, I'd say 18 as a guard down at Main Beach. So that's kind of everything in a nutshell. I'm a personal coach out here in the summers. I have beach workouts. I do cycling rides, and everything that the Hamptons has to offer, I do it. So it's feel like I'm a big part of the community, and especially from all my volunteer work. And I'm excited about you guys running for office. I think it's going to be a big, positive, instrumental change to bring some buoyancy to the East Hampton village and town.
Thanks, Jimmy. Just going back to your beach workout, like how many years have you been doing that? Because I think it's fascinating. You set up these great obstacle courses, I guess, if you will, and you see people doing all this stuff on the beach. When did you start all that?
Well, you know what? It's kind of, man, my brother had this conversation before. I was never on the tall side or, your typical football player. My dad was a football coach. And back in the 70s, I wanted to be a pro football player. My dad was like, well, if you're going to play pigskin, you're going to have to be fast and agile. You should be training down there on the beach. So my dad and we set up sticks on the beach and tennis balls. And that became the obstacle course for me back in mid-70s, actually, at Georgia Beach. And no one was at Georgia Beach then, so I set up my own little obstacle course. So I would just run around those all summer. So I was ready for double sessions football at East Bonnet Tech here. So for freshman football with Mr. Ambrose and, of course, Mike Burns and Dick Cooney. So that's how I got in shape, and that's what started the beach workout.
Wow, that's
There you
incredible.
go.
So when did you
Yeah.
actually started as a where you invited participants?
I started sharing my beach workout back after I retired from pro athletics in 1998, and
Wow.
I had people coming down, and I was here for the summer. I was working with Chris with my dad at Claws on Wheels,
Right.
so that's how I started the beach workout, and then it just one thing led to another. So it wasn't, Jerry, it wasn't a plan. It just kind of happened on its own,
Yeah, it's
which
really
I think is
that's
yeah,
a
it's the
cool
best way to
story.
think.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Yeah, that's the story. So, but anyway, so that's the beach workout, and of course the lifeguarding goes way back. My dad was an ocean guard, which was instrumental in myself being an ocean guard. He was a guard and growing up in Southampton. So, it's been a good run so far, and I'm looking to make it better.
Yeah, there's been
Yeah.
a lot of good employees of the village down at the beach. Like Bob Barber, we were talking about off there, and I can't believe I can't think of his name. He's
Nicoletti.
yeah,
You've had, yeah. There's been a cast of characters that have gone through Main Beach.
Ed McDonald. That's who I was trying to
Love.
think of just now. Jeez, how could I forget Ed?
Nah, well, sometimes when people are close to you, it's easy to stumble on their names. But Ed was my first year. I was a beach boy running back and forth from Main Beach down to Georgia, and Ed was down there, and Bob Barber, and Mr. Tarbett was down there. So they were instrumental in developing me as a lifeguard. I used to run coffee back and forth from Main Beach down to Georgia or Main Beach. We only had two guarded beaches at the time.
Right.
So Eddie was good stuff. Eddie, he had Bob Barbara, he had Letty, and then of course you had Newt. So that was the last crew that I worked for, who were let go. Maybe 2-3 summers ago, including myself.
Well, they weren't let go. They kind of walked off the job, right? So we'll get into that in a minute. But I just wanted to jump back to what you were saying. Back in the old days, there were only two guarded beaches. We had Maine and Georgia. Then in recent times, it's been expanded to 2 Mile Hollow Beach. It now has a lifeguard and a bathroom. Why wouldn't we? The village only has 5 beaches, so that's 3. Why wouldn't we put lifeguards at the other 2 beaches that we charge people to attend?
You know what? We need to have, I'm going to tell you something right now, Jerry, and my brother's a guard here. I've got Marco. Let's mark the record right now. Wyborgs needs lifeguards. We need lifeguards at Wyborgs because we have lifeguards at Wyborgs. We have lifeguards at Egypt. We're always running down there for calls. We're always running down there for swimmer in trouble, swimmer in trouble, swimmer in trouble. I have no idea why there's no lifeguards at those 2 beaches. These are unprotected beaches. They're crowded and they need attention. I'm telling you right now, I've been a lifeguard since 1976. I'm still a lifeguard, even though I'm not employed by the village right now. Every morning I get up, I patrol the beaches, I report to NOAA weather, I give them the surf report, the rip current report every morning. And I'm just telling you right now, I've had some of my biggest rescues after hours and during hours at Wyborgs in Egypt. And Maidstone can't get to it. And East Hampton Village, you know what? Takes 45 seconds to drown. I have no idea what's going on there. Politics, lawsuits, who knows? But you know what? The second someone drowns there, then it's big news. But why wait?
Yeah. A bunch of years ago, again, when I was chief, we had you probably remember, we had somebody who drowned at 2 Mile Hollow Beach. And do you remember that, or it was after hours though?
Of course, but the thing about it is that if there's a lifeguard down there and there's a lifeguard tower, we have the rip current signs that we have installed. We have the brochures down there. People have an awareness about, the ocean's not a water park, and that's why the biggest thing that we can do is create an awareness around ocean safety. That's our job. That's been my job I'm 58. I've been a lifeguard since 1976. So from a pool lifeguard to an ocean guard and everything in between, I taught for the American Red Cross for 5 years. I did water babies. It's all about awareness. And that's what you guys as a campaign have done amazing at. It's creating awareness. Well, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You guys have created an amazing awareness around what's going on around here in East Hampton. And so you didn't lose. Doesn't matter. You already won. So that's my opinion on those 2 beaches that need lifeguards.
Yeah, no, I would like to see that happen. And just over the last few days, I think we had a death in Amagansett or Napeague, maybe it was. Somebody drowned.
Again, about awareness, I contacted both hotels and Ocean. I just got Ocean Vista. Just called me up today, and they want me to go down there and meet with them to install rip current signs and brochures for all their patrons. It's about, it's about awareness. So I'm going to be doing that this week. It's a little late in the season, but I'm on it. And if the, what was it? Windward Shores, I put an email out to them to put up signs and donate. I'm waiting to hear back from them. Anybody who wants this rip current sign from here to Montauk Point, I will buy it for them and install it.
That's great.
Right?
You know,
But,
it's this is kind of the scary time of the year for beachgoers, really, and they don't even know it. But this time of year, when you start losing all of the kids that go to college,
oh, here we
and
go.
you start losing all your lifeguards, and then you're not able to effectively protect them while they're swimming at the beaches. So, as well as obviously you would in the summer, and yet you still have beautiful weather, and then it gets worse as we move into the fall, into the early fall,
And
like
we also
Right.
have
September.
the Corona times right now where at any given day, there's over 100 people in the water at any beach at any time, and it's unprotected. And I can't agree more with Jimmy on that. There needs to be expanded lifeguards at a lot of these beaches. 2 Mile Hollow needs 2 lifeguard stands desperately, not kind of desperately. It's a very big, large beach. And in the past 20 years, it's become very, very popular. It used to be a little gem beach that only certain people went to and it was avoided, but that has totally changed now. 2 Mile Hollow has a very big parking lot. It's got bathrooms now, and it is very busy. It's busier than Georgia. The other day, when there weren't enough lifeguards to man all the beaches, I had a conversation with one of the people at Main Beach, and I said, which beach is busier? If you had to open a beach, would you open up 2 Mile or Georgia? And they said 2 Mile. And that just shows how times are changing, because up until about 5 years ago, it would have been Georgia. You would keep that one open. That was the second busiest beach. But 2 Mile has become the second busiest beach outside of Main Beach. And there is a need for a second lifeguard stand there without a doubt. And again, all the rescues seem to be at Wyborg. We had one this this spring. There was an ocean rescue, real rescue, that happened at Wyborg's, and the lady was saved. And every year around this time, it's hurricane season. There's an elevated sea life activity, which I don't know if it means anything or not, but people are nervous. And there's less lifeguards because they go back to school, or we just, have those issues as we always do. And there's a need for more. There's a need for more. And, we have a plan. I know I talked to both of you where there's an easy plan to put in place to make sure our beaches are the best protected, not well protected. I'm talking about the best protected beaches. It's not hard. We only got 4 of them.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And you're being a little modest because weren't you the guy who did that save?
Yeah, I was, but again, it's not about me. This is about the
Right.
village. This is about our campaign. This is about making sure our beaches are safe. And my brother's made more rescues than anybody in the village, and so he doesn't broadcast that either. It's not
Right.
about individual. This is about making sure we don't have any drownings, and this is making sure that people feel safe and they want to come to East Hampton Village. They want to buy houses in East Hampton Village. They want to do things and bring their kids to the village and feel safe. And we need to re-implement that. And again, it's very easy, but I do believe that our beaches are the cornerstone of our village, and they should not be
Absolutely.
disregarded. They should be clean. They should be safe. They should be well protected. We should have the best equipment, and we got to lead by example from the top. And there's no reason for a lot of the mishaps or a lot of the things that I see, but we can only move forward. It's not
Right.
about looking back and criticizing or saying what they could be doing now. Do you know what? In 3 weeks we have a plan that will be implemented, and I think everyone's going to be thrilled, and it's exciting. I'm excited about it. I know everyone else is, but
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Me too. I look forward to it. So we wanted to go back in time here a little bit, Jimmy. And
Almost.
back in 2018, there was a big controversy at the beach. Probably the biggest controversy I've ever seen since I've been working for the village for 34 years. Never seen anything like this. So it all started just after Labor Day. I'm sorry, just after Memorial Day, 2018, and it was about the women's or the female lifeguards bathing suits. So there was a lot of stories in the newspaper and everything. So we wanted to hear, you were there. So fill us in. What happened?
Well, you know what, Jerry? I have a saying that I share with my clients. And it's not what happens, it's how you deal with it. And East Hampton Village Board, East Hampton Village trustees, whatever you want to call it, powers may be, drop the ball. Drop the ball. I have Eddie McDonald, former East Hampton Village Ocean lifeguard since the 70s. I got Bob Barber, who was my mentor, who was also another manager. I got Coach Nicoletti, and I got Newt, all my managers that have born and raised here in East Hampton. And this bathing suit thing, this is a simple problem to fix. This is a simple problem to manicure. This is something that got out of control on its own, and it got way over the top. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing and listening. Managers come to me like, "Well, would you believe what's going on here?" Managers were fired and thrown under the bus over bathing suits. Think about that a second. This is Hampton Village Ocean Rescue. There is deep history here. We were the best. When I was growing up, you used to have to wait. You have to wait years to get a job at the village. You had to know somebody. The East Hampton Village Ocean Rescue was the Navy SEAL of lifeguards out here. And now these amazing managers serve their community, taught schools, where lifeguards for the village are being thrown under the bus by an administration that can't get out of their own way. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I'm still stunned over the whole thing. That's something that could have been easily cleared up. But when, conflict management is when you show your character. Not easy breezy, not when things are good, not sitting on the board and being on, and then I see everyone on the TV thing and everyone's making decisions. No, this was conflict management. This was time for people to show their colors. And the whole thing went to hell in a handbasket really fast. And then you get this kind of thing like, we're quitting before you fire me. Eddie McDonald, Bob Barber, Newt was in law enforcement for years here in the community. I remember him growing up. Just think about that for a second. You can't put this little fire out and make it better for everybody. And instead of empowering people, you fire people and degrade them. I don't get it.
The whole thing was pretty upsetting, and I only know what I read in the paper.
We're here to rescue people.
Right, because I wasn't there, but from what the Star is saying is that somebody or the village received complaints that the female lifeguards' bathing suits were too skimpy or not enough coverage in the rear area.
Jerry, listen. These are USLA approved lifeguard swimsuits. Okay, this is where you got to keep your personal stuff out of politics. You got to keep it out of in a rescue business, for an example. They were USLA approved outfits. Okay, the girls were fine. You have village board members who have a personal issue with it. Maybe their spouses have a personal issue with it. That is no place for East Hampton Village lifeguarding. No place at all. You let your personal issues get involved with making these kind of decisions, and look what happened. Just look at it. Look at it's something like that's in the paper. You got to be kidding me.
Right.
I don't get it.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. These bathing suits were the same bathing suits. My understanding is the same bathing suits that the lifeguards all over Long Island use. Correct?
All over Long Island, all over South Carolina, all over California, all over Florida, all over everywhere. And this is my point. The wrong people are in charge of the beach. That's it. It's that simple. If the wrong people are in charge of the beach, maybe they did great in their personal careers. Look, you don't want to come to me for computer science. I have no idea what that is. Okay, but they dropped the ball on running the beach, and they still do. Maine Beach right now is upside down and disorganized, and nobody wants to come back. All the senior guards have left. The word on the street is don't work for East Hampton Village. It's a mess, and you get treated with disrespect. That's how it's been for probably, I would say, the last easy 5 years.
Yeah.
And
I'm hearing the same thing from other departments
over
too.
and over.
From the police department. I mean, there's a public relations charge that the union just filed against the village for, inappropriate handling employees. So that's going on right now. So, but I just wanted to jump back. So
what?
I have a hard time. The managers were doing what they were told to do from the board, correct? The managers
Correct.
The managers didn't start this problem, didn't want this problem. They were acting on behalf of the board, correct?
Right, and then they threw them under the bus when it came down
And
to
then
it.
when the girls felt offended, they filed a complaint. The village investigated, and then basically threw the managers under the bus instead of standing up and saying, it's our fault. We told the managers to do X, Y, and Z. Is that fair? Am I following this?
That's a fair assessment. The beach managers did everything they could to fix this situation, and it got out of control, and unnecessarily over bathing suits that were just fine. And I've been guarding for how many years now? And I live on both coasts. I was going to be working with Carpinteria Ocean Rescue. I know how this works. East Hampton Village Board does not know how this works. They know nothing. See that space between my fingers? That's how much they know about ocean rescue and lifeguarding. Okay, that's it right there. They should not be making decisions on this. That's why I'm excited that you guys are going to get, hopefully you guys will get in, my brother will get in, and we have a different, more of a progressive perspective. And you yourself, Jerry, have opened up this discourse of like, hey, how do we make this better? Not firing people, negativity, get out of here, it's us against them. No, that does not work in ocean rescue. Everybody that goes in the water comes out of the water. Okay, number one. Number two, we get the best lifeguards. And that's what we're going to be working on for next year. Not the village board, the current village board that has been making these decisions. Not going to happen anymore.
I love it. So it's funny though, just to give some credence to what you're saying, if people aren't aware of this story, I have the article from an editorial basically that David Rattray wrote from the East Hampton Star on August 30th of 2018, where he says, cover up or cover up, ? And he says, from the start, East Hampton Village officials have mishandled a growing scandal stemming from the women's lifeguards' official bathing suits. So even the East Hampton Star recognized that the village board mishandled the entire situation. So you're right on the money, Jimmy.
Mishandled, like, what is that? The understatement of the year? Come on, you can't get that part. You can't get that part right. Everything else is a little tough. Okay, that should have been the easy part. I think the village board has different things to do, and then they got themselves in this quagmire. Okay, it should be more solidified, as my brother and I have spoken endless about rebuilding Maine Beach the way it used to be. Is we have to get rid of that influence, that discourse, that way of problem solving, that way of conflict management. It doesn't work. It never worked. All right, and it's bleeding down from the fact that when Rickenback, now I'm sure he's a great detective, I have no idea what he did in his past, but the way the things have been set up with us against them and this kind of king rulership, I've made my mind up before there's a meeting. That doesn't work anymore. That's done. We need to have what you're doing. You're creating a collective group discourse. You want to hear everybody's opinion. You want to hear how we can make this better. You want to hear how we can make this work without all this conflict. You're trying to create a solution, not, well, it's my way or the highway. That's not how you roll. I know that. I've known you how many years now? I've seen you
Long
at
time.
TV.
Yep.
Okay, I know you know how to manage and assess and collect and assess different opinions and then sort out what the best is. That's why I'm so proud of my brother to jump in here, is because he sees it the same way. We're not running the village with blinders, how it's been. Okay, there's not going to be any outside spouse influences. It's going to be, you know what? We have a wide angle view. We want to make this better.
Right.
And I can't say enough about this. I'm tired of the village board, like, no, it's our way or the highway.
Yeah. No, I look forward to getting that all under control. Chris has got a great handle on that, and I can't wait. We're gonna have a
Yeah,
3
it's
weeks.
going to be great. You know, one plan and a goal that we have is to get Main Beach #1 in a very short amount of time. Whether it be 2 years or 3 years, I think that's all we need. There's a lot of simple changes and management changes and lifestyle to create a warm, happy environment to where you can run this beach very smoothly, very fluidly, but it can also be fun too. We're talking about the beach. We're not talking about the police department where, there's laws. You know what I'm trying to say, Jerry? You would be a good person to run the police department. I wouldn't be that person. But again, when we talk about the beach, a place where I grew up from the day I was born, my brother grew up from the day he was born, we've seen everything and experienced just about all you can experience at Main Beach. And I do believe that we can bring Main Beach back to where it needs to be. And not just Main Beach, Georgia, 2 Mile, Wyborgs, Egypt, the entire coastline of the village can be #1 again. And there's a lot of ideas that we have, and most of them are simple, to be honest with you. There's little management changes when it comes to how things are done, lifeguard management, getting the right lifeguards there, whether it be all the way from taking the lifeguard test to a cadet program, the junior program, the lockers, the parking. We talked about, beach stickers. We want more people at the beach. I mean, there's no reason why we can't have stickers that can be issued to people that rent their houses. I mean, it's one of my brother's friends rents a house at 2 Mile Hollow and pays hundreds of thousands of dollars for his rental, and he couldn't get a beach sticker. What is that? I mean, that's not right. And Jerry, you've mentioned a couple ideas that you have, and the good news is that this election was postponed, unfortunately, for the residents, but we have all winter now. We take office in 3 weeks. We can see the beaches through. I would like the beaches to be open through September on the weekends and maybe even do October. We've got coronavirus. We've got people out here. Schools have been – there's a lot of reasons why we can't have a patrol on the beach if it's a sunny day. Why can't a lifeguard have a radio, a torp, and the ATV and go back and forth? There's going to be a lot of kids that need a job on the weekend. I don't see why we can't try to do that, and we will get the beach buttoned up and protected. And then we have all winter to talk to people. We can all get together. We can form a committee. We can get the best people involved to make these decisions. But Main Beach will be #1 within 2 or 3 years. I can almost guarantee that it's going to happen. It's going to be fun. You wait. It's going to be a very fun place. We're going to bring Main Beach back again. And it's I mean, you just wait. We've got some great ideas. And
I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm excited.
We're going to do this for the whole village. I'm very excited. I recently, you haven't seen it yet, but I had an interview with the Village Preservation Society, and it was a half-hour one-on-one, and she was asking me what I saw, how I saw the village under our management. And I said, I want to see it as a friendly, helpful village, not this nasty, divisive village that it's become. So
did you say friendly?
So
Imagine that.
I know. So, but all parts of it, including the beach, but also there's no reason, the code enforcement, when we're doing all of these things that we do, can't be friendly. We can't be more helpful. I mean, yes, you're going to have to take action against people at times, but there's no reason why we can't be helpful. I just heard a complaint the other day that people are trying to move into their new home, and the builder called for a inspection, and it's a month away before they can get their final C of O inspection. So technically, they can't move in their house because they're waiting for the village to do a final inspection, which is a month out. That's crazy. So, I mean, if you can't get it done, let's hire an outside. Let's get some
Let's
outside
get
help.
it done.
Right. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, Jimmy, thanks so much for coming on. It's been great.
You know what,
Talking
guys,
with
before
you.
we go, I just want to say is the impact that, Jerry, that you've made on local politics, local East Hampton village politics, and my brother and Marcos, of course, and Sandra, is, I think, probably one of the most compelling benchmarks in East Hampton history. Basically, what I'm dealing with the board is not people who've been elected, but people who've been appointed without a voice and without a message. And you guys have come along with a voice and with a message and being open-armed about it and bringing things up that never was talked about. You guys already won the election because you have like the Fishhook Party, the Elms Party, basically trying to mimic what you're trying to do, what you've always talked about. At the same time, Jerry, they're stealing from your ideas because they're scared. And then they turn around and then they like basically trying to paint you guys as like you want to put a shopping mall in Herrick Park and you want to tear down you want to tear down windmills and put a 7-Eleven in. We all know that they're scared. You guys are running the show. Doesn't matter what happens on the 15th. You've already won. You got a discourse going. You have the opponents scared, and they're talking about things that aren't true. I've seen it. My clients come up to me with these mailers. I've heard them. They're scared. And why are they scared? Because you guys have brought up real things, real issues that need to be talked about. So you didn't lose the election. Who cares what happens on the 15th? You guys already won because you've created this awareness that this community needs. The last 20 years under Rickenbacker and Lawler and this little board, are they bad people? No, not at all. I'm sure they're great people. I'm sure I'd love to play cards with them. I'm sure I'd like to go to Christmas parties with them. But running the village, they dropped the ball. And you guys have done a great job creating this community message that you're in it to win it. And you want to hear from them. And that's what I just wanted to say before I go. All right.
That's great, Jimmy. Thanks so much.
I don't know if I'll ever get my lifeguarding job back again. It doesn't matter. We've said it, and the message is out there. And you guys have done an amazing job, and you have no regrets no matter what happens on the 15th. You already won.
Well, listen, Jimmy, in
matter.
3 weeks, I'll put a good word in for you.
All right. Well, guys, my girlfriend just showed up with a lot of food and wine. I'm going to go back to being a boyfriend. So, you guys, we have this expression. I'm with Ski Patrol now in Aspen. We have an expression. You call, I haul. All right?
Thanks, Jimmy.
We'll get there. All right, boys.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good night. Yep.
All right,
Yeah, thanks. All right.
Marcos, you on?